Welcome back. Let's recap what we have done this week. Well, we started off by talking about how international trade has increased around the world, a phenomena which we call globalization. We also talked about how global mobility and technology have enabled people to work from different parts of the world and move to different parts of the world, which gives rise to the understanding or to the field or the subfield of international human resource management. We talked about the different streams of work that are done in international human resource management, from understanding how expatriation happens to the impact of organizational and national culture on HRM policies. Next, we spoke about organizational culture, and we said that organizational culture is dependent on a number of factors and can be divided based on how work is done and how people interact with each other. What do they actually seek? We then spoke about national culture, and in national culture, I introduced Hofstede's 6 dimensions. And the idea is that different countries differ on these 6 dimensions. I would also encourage you to look at different models of national culture, because national culture is usually very dynamic. We also spoke about when we decide on HRM practices, should we think about organizational culture or should we talk about national culture? And we came to this realization that home country HRM practices do impact work behaviors. And these work behaviors will impact our organizational performance. However, home country HRM practices need to be modified as per the national culture in order to ensure that the work behaviors we are really looking for do occur. In certain countries, certain behaviors or certain practices will have very low impact or potentially also have a negative impact. So it's important to look at both organizational culture and national culture when creating HR practices. We then turned our attention to a slightly newer phenomena of virtual teams. And we tried to look at how HRM and HRM practices can impact virtual teams and make them more effective. There is growing evidence to suggest that virtual teams, when managed correctly, outperform teams that are in the same office space. And with the growing trend of virtual teams, especially due to technology, it is becoming more important that HR professionals also understand how to make policies to manage virtual teams more effectively. Thank you very much for your time.